Hi everyone, it's Crystal here. It's been a little while since I've done a live, but I just figured I would pop on and say hi. And we're still alive, everyone is doing well. Ryder and I are actually at the dog park now, so there's a lot of activity. Dogs jingling around and playing with each other, and it's pretty fun. I love Portland because Portland is a really dog-friendly city. But it's not the only reason I love Portland, just to be clear. It's actually so wonderful. Ryder, come here. Sometimes Ryder doesn't always get along with dogs at first. She likes them eventually, but hey, come here. Bye, come on. Okay, we'll just walk over here. So, anyway, it's been really wonderful to be home in Portland. As you can see, it's just a sunny, beautiful day. It's like a completely perfect temperature. Short sleeves and sweats at the dog park, which is fantastic. Comfortable, beautiful day. September the 5th, which is the first day of school for our kids. So I know some places they start a lot earlier. Here we start at or around Labor Day. So it's not exactly it just depends on what school district you're in and kind of like what grade your kids are in when your kids start. So our kids went back to school today. It's pretty awesome. They're super happy, excited for the new year. And I'm thrilled to be in Portland. So now that the kids are back at school, we have mostly moved in to our new house. I'll be showing you all that later. There's a bit of process there, of course. It's time to get back to work. So I'll be getting back to a lot of real estate content, but also just hoping to produce more regular content this summer. Here's a Ryder. Hey, baby girl. Yes, you're such a good girl. You're so cute. Oh my goodness. How are you doing? So, are you thirsty? Okay. Ryder's thirsty. There's water just over there, so she can go get some if she wants it. But she's gonna steal the show, aren't you? You little cutie. I have to say, I think Ryder really does like Oregon. We've been going on a couple of hikes lately, so she's a good hiking pal. Emily has got to come on a couple, and there's been a couple where it's just been me and Ryder. The kids like to hike too, waterfall hikes, and I think their range right now is like, I think 3-ish miles. I mean, they could do a little bit more. If they push it, they could also do less and be perfectly happy. But yeah, I'm really glad to be home. It's great to see a lot of the friends that we had said goodbye to when we moved to Florida, and also just kind of catch up on everyone's lives, because a lot has happened in 2 years. So a lot has changed for us as a family, a lot has changed for all of them, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Thank you all for your comments and questions. I'll definitely answer them. The real estate market in Portland is still chugging along, let's just say. I think there's very low inventory. That's the main thing I would say. So there's not a ton out there compared to historic numbers, but people who want to buy are finding that there's less other buyers to compete with. And then conversely, people who are selling are finding that if their house is prepped well and priced well, there's not that many other sellers to compete with. So it's actually, despite what the media would tell you, a pretty good time to transact, whether you're looking to buy or sell or do both, because a lot of people do both. Like most of the time, real estate is not done solely buying or solely selling, unless you're like a first-time home buyer, in which case it would be. So anyway, enough about that. Let's see, what else is happening in our family? I am really excited to be settled into our home. As soon as we get settled, we'll give you a tour. But we're just kind of, unpacking takes some time. Certainly not an easy thing, but we really downsized how much stuff we had. We thought we downsized on the way to Florida, and then on the way back, we downsized so much we fit in one, I think it's 20-foot pod. So it was just, we really didn't have a lot of stuff. And that included some of the kids' other moms. I think her desk, mattress, a couple of the kids' items, and so on and so forth. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of nice. I don't know how many of you live like in a minimalist lifestyle, but it's really refreshing to not have a ton of things in your house. Just like basically have the essentials, but not a lot more. Compared to the last 4 months, we've been living in sort of transitional living situations. So when we first came here, we were living in a house that we were renting from a friend of ours who's on the East Coast. And then I went on the ship for a month. Emily got an apartment here. That was really fun. I don't know how much I've told everyone about that, but I still have a lot of travel content actually from that trip. So I think I left off right about Iceland. So I went from Iceland to Portugal to see my best friend, and then from Portugal to Spain. I joined the ship. And so this is a training ship for Maine Maritime Academy. So Maine Maritime Academy does 4-year degree. That's where I went to school. Like, I graduated in 2006, so that's just a little while ago. And it was really fun for me to go back there and like teach the students like the things that I acquired in my 15 years of shipping, and then also to talk to them about real estate, because I got into real estate because of investing in real estate while I was shipping, and it's given me a lot of opportunities to lateral out of that and into a more home-based job, so that I can be around. Hi, baby. Yeah, I can be around my family and this puppy dog, who's lovely and just wants to hang out with me usually. Yeah, so anyway, real estate's wonderful, and I love helping other people with it, and that includes like students who are going to be making good money working on ships, and I'm just kind of hope that they do something to invest that, not just to spend it, which is always a challenge, especially when you're like 22 years old. But what was I going to say? Okay, so I got on the ship in Spain. I went from Spain up to Germany, and then Germany to Belfast, Northern Ireland, and then back to Castine, where I got to meet Emily and the kids. They were there when the ship pulled in, which was awesome. I did say this on a video a little while ago, so for those of you who have seen that video, sorry, it's a bit of a repeat, but I'm glad, yeah, things are kind of settling down. So we were in Maine for a little bit, then we've been in Portland, and we're actually buying a house off market from a friend of ours who she's downsizing, her kid's off to college, and we were talking about it, and the deal came together so nice. It was a win-win for both parties. Like, we got to spend the month of August living in her basement, which is like a, like a guest suite for sure, like a kitchenette and everything. It's very nice. But that was a great thing. We got to spend time with her. We got to help her pack. We got to, our dogs were running in the backyard like crazy dogs, and Ryder just has taken over the other dog's digging spot. So like now she comes into the house with like this muzzle that is just completely filthy, and we're like, oh gosh, and just paw prints. So we're gonna have to get I don't know if any of you have ever seen, there's like these rugs that have like, they're like almost like 2-inch long like threads on them, and they're really good for like wet dog feet. So I'm gonna have to see if we can get one of those before it starts raining here. Yeah, so if anyone has any other questions they want to say answered, feel free to throw it out there. Otherwise, I just wanted to give you a little update on what's happening with the Oregon Moss family. Rai, come here, baby. Ryder, come here. Don't chuff at him. Come here. Come here. So, yeah. Anyway, besides corralling my dog at the dog park, I actually have, I'm kind of kicking off this season, this chapter of real estate. I'm going to Austin for a conference starting tonight. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be really interesting to get together with some professionals all around the country. and actually from around the world. There's at least always a couple people from Canada, and then sometimes people from further afield countries as well. But one of the things that's awesome about the way that I do real estate, it's all about relationships. So I have relationships with these great people who work all over the country, all over the world, and then I connect my people with them, because like I can't specialize in the Chicago market as well as the Portland market, right? So I got people in Chicago who know it super well and work the same way, putting the relationship first and really authentically helping people. So people in Chicago, I just say, oh yeah, call, this person, and then it's very straightforward. So yeah, that's how I do it. Well, if you actually, I should always say this, but if you guys know someone who's moving anywhere in the country, you should have them reach out to me, because I can help them. One thing that people don't understand is that not all real estate agents are created equally, and the best person to interview a real estate agent on your behalf is another agent, because I know the questions to ask, and I can see who's good and who's not, and who's really going to be honest, be a good advocate, and not just disappear after the transaction. That's the thing. Like, it should be a relationship that goes on. All right, let's see. We've got a whole bunch of people. Somebody just asked if I didn't like Florida. It was more complicated than that, let's just say. I certainly enjoyed a lot of the things about being in Florida. Car going by. I enjoyed a lot of the things about being in Florida. A lot of the people that we met and got to spend time with, that was fantastic. The weather, I would say, was a 50-50 split. Like, some of the weather was awesome, like when it was still sunny and like you could go on the boat the day after Christmas and be wearing like a t-shirt. That was awesome. The weather when it was really hot was oppressive, and people here tend to kind of hibernate inside during the winter, and I've noticed people in Florida tend to hibernate inside during the summer. So it wasn't like I didn't like Florida, but certainly as a holistic place, it wasn't right for our family. We met lots of people who were affirming of a queer family, and then until I came back, I didn't realize how weird it was to be treated differently. Like, I was harassed, I think is the right word, on multiple occasions using the women's restroom in Florida. And that wasn't great. So having to live on edge when you'd rather just live your life and love the people you love is certainly not great. And unfortunately, because of the way that, the governor has sort of steered the state, what people don't realize is that has a trickle-down effect. So the trickle-down effect empowers people to, like, say rude things to someone who's just trying to go to the bathroom, or to, give dirty looks to people, or those kind of things. Like, I think unless you live a life that is atypical in some fashion, you wouldn't really understand that. And I'm 100% sure a lot of other people from different ethnicities, people of different races, women oftentimes experience this, other minorities, people with disabilities, all kinds of people have their own lived experience when it comes to being treated differently, being othered. And I think I do actually feel hello. I feel actually quite a bit of privilege for the fact that we could move and pretty much have that otherness, like being treated as other, go away. Because Portland, that's just not the case. I have a lot more renewed empathy now, actually, I think, for people who have things that they can't move away from. Like, somebody who is treated poorly because of the color of their skin. I mean, maybe there's some places that they can live that it's better than others, but ultimately it's not like this where it's like kind of a day and night difference. So anyway, just thought I would say that. Lori, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. I'm sure that was devastating and still is. Susan's out there with a shout out for First American Title. Thank you, appreciate that. I have definitely used them in the past. I think there's different seasons to use different people, but I've used them for sure. And what about our kids? Do they like Oregon better? Excuse me. I would say yes, 100% they like Oregon better. But they also kind of like what I'm saying, wish they could have brought a lot of their friends here with them, because when we move, they're like, well, what about my friend so and so? Will we get to see them again? And that's a really hard discussion to have with kids. Like, will you get to see them again? It's not like not ever, but you won't get to see them at school every day. You won't get to go to the park with them on Friday. And they're making new friends here, but the process has been a little slower, I would say. Partly because it's summertime and they don't see the same like consistent number of kids, but also I think I think partly because they're a little bit they're still recovering. Like you know, you have physical resilience and you have emotional resilience, and the kids. Hi darling, there's a friend coming to visit me. Hi you're very cute. Oh my goodness, you are very cute. Ryder, are you gonna let this happen unopposed? I guess so. Your dog is really cute.
Yeah, she loves people.
It's a good thing I wore my sloppy, like my sweatpants too, because she's a sloppy kisser.
Is she? Thanks for letting her say hi.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that they're playing. Anyway, just I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the kids. Like, it's certainly hard to move and have the emotional resilience to open yourself back up to new friends. It's hard, but they're doing it. They're amazing humans, and I'm really proud of them. All right, I think that I have talked for quite a while, and yeah, I'm happy to be back. I think that this is the kind of a forum that I am going to be more regular in. I've just really, it's like a lot of excuses, but I've been having a hard time carving out the time with all the moving and the getting settled and starting the real estate business up to edit videos. So editing is maybe a little less edited content and hopefully more live content. So hope you all have a great first week of whatever. Well, I guess not all of you going back to school, probably a few of you, but a first week of September, and I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Okay, bye.